Welcome to the Loveland Report and the Lone Ranger Show. I am Cleve Loveland, Central Florida's voice of real estate, alongside the Lone Ranger. We'll give you all of your real estate news every weekend, all of your mortgage news. Where are the interest rates at? How do you sell your home? How do you find a house to go to with nothing on the market? When is this madness going to stop? It's not madness. It's just a great market.
It is kind of crazy, though.
It is a little crazy.
I mean, you and I have been doing this for a long time.
Yep.
You've had the longest-running radio talk show for real estate
in the world,
in the history of the galaxy,
in the world. Yeah.
And you know what? You and I have seen some crazy times and cycles that we've gone through, but this is just it's a little different.
And,
right? When have we seen a run on equity going up as much as it has in this long duration? Because you and I thought that the whole thing was going to slow down a year and a half ago.
Yeah, like 2006 and 7, things were climbing rapidly.
Yes.
And
well, even 4, 5, and 6. Remember, they were in bidding wars.
But there wasn't.
Not near as rapidly.
We didn't have 20% a year appreciation.
No.
But here's some numbers I got from one of my Fox Business reports on what's going on nationwide. And it talks about some of the hottest cities with the most appreciation. A couple are in Florida. Orlando was about 20%, but Miami and Tampa are 28 and 30% appreciation. Now, what's interesting, though, some big cities had the least gains, like Minneapolis, Chicago. And
well, that's because nobody wants to live in Minneapolis.
Well, Washington.
They're a bunch of lunatics up there.
You and I know people in the business in those cities, and they were heated up before we were heated up. Like, they were getting 30 offers on things when we were only getting 5.
Sure.
And so I think what's hard to call is the peak. And the interest rates we know are going to slow things down. Low inventory is kind of throttling the market back now. The builders have no homes, so we got a very, very low supply. Because normally we'd have about 5,000 homes a month selling and about, 1,000 or 1,500 new homes. Well, the builders, I don't know how many are closing right now, but they can't service all the buyers they got because they don't know when the homes are going to be built.
No, they don't, and they're not even pricing some of these out until they're inventory homes.
But these big cities, now granted, I wouldn't want to live there because of their governments and because of the cold weather, but Chicago, Minneapolis, and Washington only having appreciation of 11 or 12% tells me they're cooling off. And what we'll see, the numbers don't lie, and I get great numbers. And darn it, I don't know what's happening with the Board of Realtors. I should have had my report today on how many listings we have for sale in Central Florida.
Not that many.
And I want to see, though, if it's climbed a lot. Now, I have gotten, over the past 90 days, I list a bunch of properties every month. I have gotten calls from people that have been listed for 3 to 6 months and did not sell. And imagine this, most of the time it's inexperience on the listing agent side that caused this problem. Sometimes the seller not seeing things correctly. But I went through these homes, and there's a couple small fixes, and I got them under contract with multiple offers.
Right.
And I didn't tell them to slash the price. So there's certain things you got to look at, because I was checking back 3 years ago, Bruce, in 2019, we had like 8,000 homes for sale at the beginning of 2019, and it slowly ticked down over the summer. I remember back then we were getting multiple offers on houses like below 200, below 225.
Sure.
And now those are gone. Now that's a condo, if you can find it, a one-bedroom condo. So what'll be hard to pinpoint, and that's what you tune in here for every weekend, is when exactly we're going to turn. But what's personal and why you and I have a job is everybody's credit report is personal to them. Everybody's income is personal to them. When I go to talk to somebody about their real estate situation, that's very personal to them and what they want to do. When Susie gets out of high school, she goes away. We want to make the house smaller so she can't move back in, come back home from college. I need another investment property.
And I want to talk about that, too, in just a minute.
Quickly. And so if you want to call me about your personal real estate situation and what you want to plan, I'm a real estate planner, 407-352-8118. And if you need financing, Bruce, where do they call you at?
You can call me at 407-250-9144. It's 407-250-9144 or WeBringYouHome.com. And not only are you a planner, but you're a real estate expert. You take this business as your craft. This is what you do. He can't really do much else, okay? He's good at the gym. He's decent at the gym, but he's really good at real estate. And his hair is good. He's got good hair, okay? And
my father did bless me with a good head of hair.
He got a good head of hair.
Yep.
But real estate, you want a great realtor, great real estate agent. So, it's interesting you're talking about the prices of houses, the amount of properties that are on the market. It's interesting because one of the things that you and I are still struggling with is multiple offer situations.
Yep.
So you're up against many other offers on the same house. Or you could buy with a builder, and you could wait around for 10 months to build your home.
And most of them have their process narrowed down. Now, it used to be 4 to 5 months they'd have your house. You're in the house, you're happy, you're unpacking. Right now, they're probably 8 to 10.
Well, they're telling you 8 to 9, and it's really 10 to 11.
Running longer because I know there's some hard items to get. So,
it's hard to get.
But they're still getting the process down.
But if you buy new construction, it's difficult to lock your interest rate in for 8, 9, 10 months.
Yeah.
Now, I have a extended lock program.
How long?
I can go up to a year.
Wow.
I can go up to a year. I can lock your rate in right now, and it's good for a year. Now, you have to be in contract. So a lot of my folks that are in new construction are doing that. So it is available. If you have questions about a long-term lock, you give me a call. I will give you a quote on a long-term lock. All you have to do is apply at WeBringYouHome.com. I'll run the numbers for you, and I'll let you know what your rate's going to be on a long-term lock.
Because we're in the 4s now.
Well, you're pushing 5s already now.
Okay. So, but a year, if you're going to build a house and it's not done for 9 to 10 months,
I think in 3 months from now, you're going to see another point increase in your interest rate.
That much, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I do because look at the Fed is pushing, or the government is pushing the Fed to raise the Fed rate again.
Yep.
They have to. They're trying to slow things down a little bit because inflation is out of control. Now they're saying it's 8.5%. I think it's pretty close to 35%. Now that's my opinion, and here's why. It's 8.5%, but they don't take into consideration food, groceries, housing, or fuel. So if I take out, that's like me saying, Cleve, I'd like you to create a budget for your household, but I don't want you to include your house payment. Don't worry about your house payment. Don't worry about your groceries.
That sounds like a government figure.
That's a government figure. So it's bogus because look at our gas is up 90% from what it was.
Yeah.
Right? Our food's up 30%. So come on, let's be realistic about this. But so I'm starting to see people grumble more about where interest rates are going. Believe me, you guys, it's not my fault. I give you the news. I deliver the news. The rates are what they are. But let me just put this in perspective. On October the 16th of 1981, interest rates hit a record high of an average of 18.53%. 18.53%. Now, on not the next segment, but the following segment, I'm going to give you a history of what happened with interest rates starting when they started to rise. But do you know what a national average over a long period of time of an interest rate is?
No.
Between 7 and 9%.
Yeah.
So 7.5%, if we go to 7.5%, everybody right now is kind of freaking about it because they're like, oh my God, they were in the 2s and 3s.
Yeah. Homes will sell. Yeah.
Oh, homes will sell.
Yeah.
But the good news is can you still make money on it? Can you still make money buying in the market? Yeah. So you and I've seen an influx of investors jumping in right now. And even though investor loans are in the 6s, I'm seeing an influx of them because I have a report that shows that our median sales price in this area is going to jump to $640,000 by year 2026.
4 years?
4 years.
I could believe that, just about.
That's double your price. Now, can you imagine owning 10 houses that you bought for $350,000? Yeah. You're going to make $3 million in 4 years.
Yeah, but if that happens, now I really think, because what makes me think about that number going that high, California sucks. Their taxes suck. Their weather, you can get burned up in a fire. You can fall into a crevice in an earthquake. Liberals could show up your door and take away your gas lawnmower. It stinks. And their median price is right around between, depending on what part of the state you're in, $800,000 to $1 million.
Oh gosh, yes.
For a starter home.
But we follow them by a 20-year span.
And we do. And so I just think that we are such a cool state. Why shouldn't we be more expensive than New England?
Well, we should be.
And that's what's happening.
And we're going to get
that's what's going on right now.
And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about what rents are doing because we've been telling everybody, we got about 4 minutes.
Okay.
We've been telling everybody that the average rent rate is going up 20%. But I've got some surprises for you that I want to give you in the next segment. But in the meantime, if somebody'd like to reach you about listing or finding a home to buy, how would they do that?
I just had somebody called me. They had a for sale by owner sign out front, thought they'd do it themselves. It'd be really easy. Of course, the buyer drags on for 90 days, never really got qualified, was not an approved buyer, calls me. I got him 5 offers in the first week, and we sold for $20,000 more than he was going to sell with on the for sale by owner. Anyway, call me at 407-352-8118 or lovelandreport.com.
Yep, or call the Loan Arranger. Apply for a loan. I have every type of loan you could possibly imagine.
Did you hear what your crazy Canadian cousins did?
No, but hold on one second. Let me just give out my phone number. Okay, 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144 or WeBringYouHome.com. What did my crazy Canadian...
They banned foreign home buyers for 2 years. Now, there's some exceptions. But they have such a shortage on homes there, they banned foreign home buyers. Because all us crazy Americans were coming across the border and buying up their, vacation homes. I don't know what
I don't think it's Americans. I think it's Chinese.
Could be. But, yeah. I mean, so we don't, and the good thing is our government won't get that involved in something to ban foreign sales. And foreign sales.
Well, you got to remember, Canada is very socialistic.
Yeah, and we've got, foreign business in Florida is probably it's only about less than 10% of our sales, and most of it's around the attractions are down in South Florida. But I just thought that was interesting how the government would do that to try and help control pricing, and they gave some extra tax credits.
You think our pricing has gone up here. The pricing in Canada has just literally gone through the roof. Their appreciation is way higher than what we've seen. Yep. And the housing market is still strong. There's still people buying. But how does an average person, let's just say a postman and a school teacher, combined income $100,000, how do you afford an $800,000 house? You can't.
Yeah, it's hard.
You can't. And if our prices are going to go to $650, my advice to you is buy now, get rich.
Yep.
Wait, and you're going to make me richer.
Yeah.
Right?
You'll be my tenant.
You'll be my tenant. And when we come back, we're going to talk about what rents are going for here in Central Florida. I just got a new report, so do not change the channel. Stick with me. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I did have my first class this week that I was teaching financial literacy to young adults from 15.
How many youngins you teach to?
Well, I can't recall how many were on it, but there was a lot of young adults and their parents, and it was the first class I taught. It's funny how Rick DeSantis.
Yeah, he just did a
he's
class
doing
like
something
that in high school.
Well, he's now requiring that. I think it's in 9th, 10th, or 11th grade. You have to go through some type of financial literacy class. I'm hoping that they can invite me in as a guest speaker for that.
They should.
I think they should.
They should. No, it's good for you for helping people do that because nobody taught us that. I don't care if you've got a master's degree. You don't even learn that stuff. Like, what's the best credit card? When should you buy a house? How do you pay rent? How much do you save each month? How much do you invest?
I cover all of that.
Should you be day trading crypto?
Yeah.
Things like that. No, you should not. But, it's just in real estate, you want to talk to an expert. Give Bruce a call for mortgages. Give me a call for real estate. We'll be able to help you. If you're selling or buying or you need property managed, I can help you with that too.
Yep. And Cleve, how would they reach you?
407-352-8118.
Or you can reach the Loan Arranger, Bruce Woodburn, CrossCountry Mortgage, 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144 or WeBringYouHome.com. When we come back from the next break, I want to talk about what rents are doing right now. How does that impact you? If you are a parent and you have adult children or adult grandchildren that are renting, how this is going to impact you and your lifestyle moving forward. Because if you don't think higher interest rates are going to impact you because you already own a home, I'm going to show you how it will. And when we come back, we're going to talk also about the history of what interest rates have done over the last 40 years so we can put things in perspective and understand, is it the right time to buy or did we completely miss the boat? So, like, people think, well, interest rates are going up.
No matter where rates go, no matter where prices go, it's always, you're still not going to meet a rich renter.
It's funny, Cleve, because if you look back at history, matter of fact, let's hold that comment for the next break. We'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report and the Lone Ranger Radio Show. Stay tuned. We got some juicy stuff.